The head coach of the University of Guelph, Don Burton, who's also a Team Canada member for World Championships this past summer. Don, looking for some training advice, maybe a set that you like to do, and talk about what it consists of and what it's done and what you use it for.
Thanks, Mike. For me, doing a set, I'm going to pick 20 50s, and it could be any set really, but I like to do a set and then repeat it 4 or 5 or 6 weeks later and repeat it several times over. Having the results from what they did last time and then giving that to the athletes and then figuring out how they can do it better and not just faster, because if you do it better eventually it's going to be faster. So 20 50s on 2 minutes. So go from a dive all out as fast as you can on every single 50. Not descend one to whatever, just all out on 2 minutes. So it's pretty tough mentally set. And if you get their stroke counts on the second 25 along with their time, and if you're analyzing how far or how many numbers of kicks they're doing off of each start, you can have a whole lot of data in a set that takes you 40 minutes, and you repeat it, and if you're tracking all those numbers, then you can really figure out how to get better at it. So for me, it's a simple, super little set. Most of the swimmers like it because it's short, they can get their brains wrapped around it. But it is really challenging to not have this mental fatigue fade from numbers 11 through to 17 and then watch them pick it up and go fast in the last 3. Everybody can go fast in the last 3 and everybody can go fast in the first couple. How can they hold on to their stroke count as they go through the set and as they get more and more just pushed down because the set's pretty tough? And when they get more and more fatigued, is their breathing pattern changing? Are they doing more strokes? Has their kick out gone from a 10-meter kick out to a 5-meter kick out, or now it's non-existent? Are they actually holding their breath from the flags, and if they're doing free or fly, whatever it happens to be? So for me, that's just a little example of a set that I like to do, but really it's about taking what they already did last time and then having a brief conversation before they do the set to say, your focal point is 6 strokes on the way down, 7 strokes on the way back, and although your time consistently was, say, 28.5 on average, your highest was this and your lowest was this, we're going to focus on your kick out being this and your stroke count being this, and that's your focal point while you're trying to go faster, because the last time you did it, your stroke counts just went off the chart at the last 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 50s.
So consistency and execution under stress, I think, would be a main part of that. How often would you repeat that? Obviously, you wouldn't do it every day, clearly, and would you do it every week, every 2 weeks, every month?
I would say for the most part the goal is to repeat it every 5th or 6th week, depending on just where everything is. So if you're doing 1 or 2 or 3 test sets this week, so 5 weeks later you'll do it again. So if you want to call it 5 or 6 weeks, whatever that happens to be. So that way I can get through 4 weeks worth of different things that we're focusing on, and then we'll come back and repeat it. So it'll be the 5th week you're going to do it.
When you do test sets like that, the results data that you get, do you put that forward into other sets as well, or does that stay specific for that test?
It's related to everything. So yes, it's specific to the test. It's then going to be used and compared to when we're actually at a swim meet, right? So you did this on your 20 50s, here's what's going on, here's what your stroke count was, here's what your kick count is. And it gives the athletes some kind of base knowledge as to where they're actually at, right? And then actually you can totally incorporate that into a set, some other set, because you did 20 of these, now we're going to do 1. Obviously you can't be slower than your average, or you can't have your stroke counts be out of whack of your average, and so it's any of those sets are totally related to everything else you do in the workout, at any workout.
You have a pretty high success structure here, Don. Just quickly before we go, what are the numbers above your office door about?
Well, there's 2 numbers there. One's a big countdown clock to Rio, so it's 1,044 days from today. And the 8282, I put that up there. I had one of my other coaches put it up there for me, and I didn't tell the swimmers what it was. And they, of course, wanted to know what it was. And I love doing those little brain teasers with them. And because they all think all the answers are on Google. And so they all typed it into Google and they couldn't figure out what it was. So they're like, well, it doesn't exist. I'm like, well, obviously it exists. It's a real number. And because I had it close to the countdown clock, which goes down every day, they really couldn't figure it out. So the answer is That's the number of kilometers that it is a direct flight from here in Guelph to Rio. So 8,282 kilometers. And it was really neat to watch people try to figure out what the heck it was for. So everyone who walks in the building, parents and swimmers and club swimmers and the university guys, they all went through this different, like pretty much everybody knows what it is now, and we're not taking it down, but it's a consistent number. But it was really cool to see the excitement and the anticipation of trying to figure out who was going to figure it out first and what the heck the number meant. So we do something like that every two or three little things like that every year, just to try and get everybody thinking about stuff that Google doesn't give you the answer to.
Awesome, thanks Don. I'm going to close out on a shot of that countdown clock to Rio. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Mike.